I wonder what it is that's causing the crashes. Is it just too many particle effects when I dodge too much, you know? No idea. Oh well. Okay, let's try this again. I think if I have a third crash, I will play something else instead. Maybe anyway. We'll see how it goes. Blood spear. At least I have that one back on my. She's in the next room. Around the corner, I mean. Yes. Can I actually get through? Oh no, that's where the Korean hideout is.
I have this.
Okay, those guys are just brawling. That's fine.
For blood.
Potassium permanganate. Right, gotcha. Good to know. Might go and see if I can buy some somewhere. Who have we got here? 2 skulls, fiery lad. That's fine. I'm just gonna completely ignore them. Hello viewer, I'm back again. I know it was very annoying. So I have to restart, but you know,
I can't
these things
believe
happen.
I'm doing this.
Unfortunately. I didn't drop anything. Crap. Okay, just scoop high. Nope, I have got my abilities set differently again. Let's put mist. Actually, I haven't upgraded mist very much. Just with spring and
this is now my domain, young man.
can, you know, heal is kind of unfair. Enemies shouldn't be allowed to have abilities. It's cheating. Ow. Thought I was going to manage to dodge that in time. Ow. So nearly dead. Oh god. There we go. Bloody hell. Aha, lead plate. Good. We do need some. Now, did I manage to open this? I did. Yes. I did. Good. Right, where is everyone? Are you all terribly injured? Or otherwise ailing? Where's Nithercore? He's around here. Yeah, okay. I think, did I get a hint for him from the girl in...
Good evening, Mr. Nithercore.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Tell me about Thingamajig. Carol... What's her face? No? No, fair enough. Nothing new from him then. Well, that's alright. Camelia's not got anything new either. She doesn't speak anyway.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have we had all your hints? Nowhere near all your hints. Huh. Wow.
Goodbye.
Interesting. Don't know who I need to talk to to get all of that. Whitaker is not injured.
You are blinded by your false
Blinded by my false faith, thank you. What are you doing, Joe? Oh god. Oh, this game is feeling really temperamental today, isn't it?
You again? What do you want this time?
What do I want this time? I wanted to chit-chat, but yeah, no, that's not anything new either, so that's
Goodbye,
fine.
Mr. Peterson.
Love his hat though, it's great. Kid upstairs, also fine. Don't get into a slaying match.
fancy bar.
You never...
Fancy buying something, absolutely.
Right then.
Do you have lead plate? Aluminium plate? Is that the same? That's not the same thing. Also potassium from manganate. Let's just buy all of them. It's not like I'm not exceedingly rich after all. Do I want to bother with good trigger parts? Not at the moment, I think. Okay, who else lives around here who I have not spoken to? There's Petrescu, isn't he? Is he? Yeah, all these guys have got serious diseases that I can't do anything about. Okay, well that's fine. No, let's go into the West End via the temple entrance. Bates. The guy is just, ugh, skeevy as heck. Oh yes, it's somewhere around here is where we pick up the water from a flower that I still have not found. So, like, smashable barrels, but there's nothing behind them. Smashable barrels over here. This guy. That doesn't. Does that go somewhere? I don't think it does. Scoot, scoot, scoot. These are not smashable. Ow, mate. Doesn't seem to go anywhere. This way doesn't go anywhere either. Just a big old keep out sign. I have no idea. I think my flower is simply going to have to go unwatered. At least for the moment. It's not like these ones. Is it? Doesn't look like there's anything I can pick up there. Nope, I have no idea. Whoop. Eh. Are the Proen whom we're kicking around here? No, they're not here anymore. Good. Oh, yes, they are. Never mind. My optimism. Unfounded. Why have I gone into combat? Thank you. Come out of combat. We're just gonna ignore those lads. It's fine. Aha! Inspector Albright, come here.
Dr. Reed, still conducting your nocturnal survey?
Yep.
Have you recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
I
Yes, he was
just heard
brutally
he
murdered.
finally died. We all have to go one day, do we not, Dr. Reed?
Something like that.
Is it true you were dropped in rank? Tell me about it.
Yes, it is. I made a terrible mistake. I deserved it. Sometimes
No
I think I should have
period.
resigned,
So
Can't
why are you
actually,
still
like,
working here?
because I'm a damn fine copper.
Believes that they
I
did
just
it
don't
wrong.
want to have someone innocent hung again by mistake because of me.
It's hanged, not hung.
The death penalty is not an efficient deterrent. I sometimes think it pushes criminals to more violence, since they know they have nothing to lose.
I agree. I'm convinced all civilized nations
All
should abolish the
civilized
death penalty.
nations. Absolutely.
Maybe after the war, once that bloodshed is over, the survivors will change that.
Why do you think there shouldn't be a death penalty?
Because
I
death
believe
penalty
no one
bad.
should decide to take a man's life. Not a nation or a government.
Are you a pacifist, Inspector?
No, sir. But I believe in divine justice. Only God has the right to decide who will live and who must die.
Sensible.
What are you investigating, exactly?
Well, my 2 missing persons cases have been solved. By you, it seems. Are you just that lucky? Or do you know something I don't?
I was lucky enough to
Got a
find them
good
both
nose.
while conducting my investigation in this part of town.
Why do I still have the feeling that you're hiding something?
Can
What
I
about
just
the abductor?
tell him?
Was it the same person?
I don't think so. You had better interview Miss Teasdale and Mr. Kimura on that matter. All I did was to lead them safely home.
Indeed.
Do you need medical?
I'm afraid I'm at...
Fatigue
You'll
medication.
quickly feel better after taking this.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, you're welcome,
Goodbye,
my dude.
Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr.
Right,
Jonathan
the yard.
Reed. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Okay. So yes, the prices in here. They both fatigued as well. God, everyone gets fatigued so easily.
I am
Good evening.
glad. My mother ordered.
Have we got anything new? Nope, just ask
Do you need
her
my
about
Oh, please.
Dawson. But we don't need to.
Thank
worry
you, sir.
about that.
Much obliged.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Carol.
I am sorry, I can't help
Good evening, Miss...
You know you can...
Just
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
you see, that's weird and controlling, and not a good attitude to have.
May I look at your...
It's always a pleasure to have...
What have you got? You've got more aluminium bits and bobs. Ah, melee weapons. Sure. You know what? Let's just grab them because I can. She got potassium permanganate as well. Yes, she has. We can sell that ring that I picked up as well, because that doesn't have any other function.
I hope
was
you can-
here to medicate her.
Good evening.
You know...
Do you need...
Oh, yes.
I'm just doing my job.
Carol in the background practicing her good mornings and good evenings.
Goodbye for
so
now.
Cute.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Nope. Okay, everything's still not good. But yes, everything in fact is still very not good. God, they are hopeless. Oh yeah, the guy with the turban, who I spotted and then didn't go to. Oh, what Pericles and Agamemnon up to? They're up to something. Yeah, where do I need to stand to listen to them? Ha, over here. Oops. Hurry up, lads. Have they finally finished waiting for whoever the hell they're supposed to be waiting for? Goddo, or whoever. Weirdos they are.
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange. And we are alive. For now, yes. But for
Going to
how
death.
long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already.
What the
All
heck
right.
are they fleeing from? That's
Where would we go?
they're just insane. They're just living in some baffling play.
The Spanish flu is not the only hitting machine.
Good evening, Mr. Bacon.
Why do I always have feelings of deja vu when I talk to you?
Because we've done this so many times.
Have you any recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard he's dead. I hope he found his twin brother, wherever they are now.
You knew Aloysius's twin brother?
Yes, I think
Oh,
we were
Gemini
even
Club,
together
Club
in the
for
Gemini Club
twins.
for a time. A somewhat secret society that only accepts twins as members.
Club for twins. Club for twins.
Tell me more about your strange feelings towards the city.
I would be
Nothing do
happy
be
to
like that,
describe
though.
them, but it's too hard to explain with mere words what I'm feeling. It's unclear, too confused.
Go on, please.
Where should I start? The world is chaos. Men go mad, and nature itself runs roughshod over us all.
This is not the first time mankind has faced a deadly epidemic. or a war.
Men kill each other, while nature decides to kill them all. I don't know what scares me the most. Do you?
Good question. They're both pretty bad.
Both can be disastrous, and a combination of the two merely increases their potency.
And what if they were just a sign of worse disasters to come? Something of biblical proportions, I wonder.
How long have you been waiting for this man?
Sometimes I feel as though I've been waiting for him for ages. Perhaps it is my role in life to wait for him. Not a pleasant thought.
It could be
We
dangerous.
are insane.
Waiting here all night.
That's quite true.
It's too
But
meta.
what other choice do we have? We are waiting here until we finally go.
Mr. Baker, I have met many strange people during my life, but you are definitely one of the strangest.
Really? I don't feel particularly odd or weird. All I want to do is leave. What's wrong with that?
Why are you still waiting for this person?
What would be the point of going before meeting the man, as he's going to help us leave?
Pericles, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Perhaps it's time to leave. Perhaps we should stay a little longer. How can I tell?
And where exactly are you thinking of going?
In a place where I will finally have that feeling, to be where I belong. The world has to be meaningless chaos to make such a heaven plausible.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
I'm afraid I do.
I don't
Got
want
a sniffle.
to appear tactless, but you're risking your health by remaining outside at this hour of night.
Says the doctor who also works outside at night. But as always, the imprudent person enjoys the company of their fellows.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Where's the other one gone? My lad. My dude. There he is. Nope, that's all bright. Oh. Intriguing. Okay. Guy. Looks like he's in the church basement. In the crypt, maybe. I didn't really try to go in the church, but it does look like I can. Puzzle floor? Intriguing. Hello, snazzy dude. Crime of lost knowledge. Usher Torture Prime. Oh wait, hang on, you're not Mr. Torture, are you?
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes,
How
they
often
tell
do
me
the cards
everything.
tell you lies, though?
They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller, then?
Oh, I can tell you many things. But they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong
Looks like he's
being,
just using ordinary
so
cards, though.
powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself. What do you
They're
do
not
here,
proper tarot
besides
cards,
turning
just
cards in
ordinary
the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
What on
Some
earth?
believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their
Oh, I'll go and
headquarters.
fetch it for you.
All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though.
Who's gonna say don't read it?
Do
Yeah.
not read it.
A mere
Jonathan.
quest called
Some
Pandora's
secrets are
Box.
meant
Not
to
a
be
chance.
revealed,
Of course I'm
even
going
to
to read it.
immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated
How
man.
do you feel about the fact that he's
A
been
man of
kidnapped
his
and I'm too
time.
busy chatting
Sometimes
with you
a little
rather
muddled,
than rescuing
but
him?
always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I
I do.
am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
150 shillings? Fine.
Here is the money.
The hunter. A good heart in disguise. A liar willing to help for real. An armed man unable to strike.
Interesting.
Do you
I don't know
require
what that
medical
portends
attention?
at all.
If you don't mind.
You'll feel better after taking this.
Thank you very much. I feel better already.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander. Yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. A red river, a song in the dark, the whispers of a sun.
It's locked.
So many signs to interpret.
Whispers of a son, as in child, offspring. Huh. I'm intrigued by these puzzle door. I assume that we will just have to come back there with friends and a plot, like, you know, Swansea and Lady Ashbury will stand on the other buttons for me. It's usually how it goes. Because I don't think I'm going to get the ability to duplicate myself or teleport between all of them or whatever. Okay, twins dealt with. They are no longer dying. This way. Find more people to heal.
You London vampires are so weak!
You northern vampires, so up yourselves.
You're bleeding!
Who's bleeding though? Spoilers, it's you. Right. Government market. Find people who need fixing. Can I get past it? Yeah, very nice. God damn. Absolutely disgusting. Truly, truly revolting when they do their chemical attacks. I hate it. It's just... ugh. Yes, okay, so if I head into my house, which is... it's just Bro in here. Fine, whatever. This is my house, isn't it? Yes, it is. Nice. decide who I'm going to give the rare and precious headache medication to. Because I don't know how to make more yet. Fatigue. Healthy. Fine. Okay, good. Congratulations, Mother. You are being...
Hello
fixed.
again, Mother.
Jonathan!
How are you? Lackey.
Father seems to have left me some
Oh
documents.
yes, I forgot. I've got the treasure
Some
hunt.
sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
Yes, I remember.
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious doer banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
Do you need my medical attention?
Oh,
I think you should
Some
take this.
medication.
You will feel better.
I'm not sure.
Not sure
Goodbye.
I'll ever feel better.
Goodbye, son.
Poor Mother.
Please come back soon.
Will do. Yeah, so... She can't see the little riddle. Is it under my local investigations? Probably. Aha! Second part. Is it downstairs? No, it's somewhere else. Where's Avery?
Can't find a way home.
Avery. Avery. There he is.
Yes, Mr. Jonathan?
That's nothing new. Where is... yes.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did.
Well, yeah, because you were a child.
Do you know why
didn't-
he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
I mean, it's a riddle.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now,
Yeah,
sir.
I feel like now that
So
I'm
my
a vampire,
task
I
is
am
not
not capable of, you know, having grandchildren or whatever.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Of course not.
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind,
I'm gonna come in
sure
here
we will find an arrangement that suits your
refurnish
mother also.
everything. Don't know what he means there, whether
Goodbye,
he means like
Avery.
making it
Please
more
watch
vampire
over
proof
my
or,
mother
you know,
until I
whatever.
return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
less. Okay. What's in the cupboard? Aha! Cutlery. Best kind of floggable item. Doesn't go anywhere. It's not anything new. Okay. Ah! Miss Louise. I rescued you from peril and you're
Good
back
evening,
here.
Miss Teasdale. How have you been since you returned home?
Dr. Reed. Oh, thank God you returned safely from these awful streets. I was so worried about my father that I left without thanking you properly.
Please don't mention it, miss.
Good. I found him, you know. My dad. Or what was left of him. I think my abductor intended to do the same thing to me.
No, your abductor wanted to marry you, which is way worse.
What can you tell me about...
Never heard of him.
Really?
Ah!
He a big shot or something.
What do you do for a living, Miss Teasdale?
Before my kidnapping, I was a waitress in a pub. Now I'm unemployed.
Were you fired?
No. It's just that after my recent experience, I don't feel like I can go back to my normal life. I need to do something useful.
Do you
Be
have
very
something
careful,
useful in
Miss
mind?
Teasdale. You were lucky to escape death once, but vampires lurk everywhere.
You killed my kidnapper by yourself, didn't you? No offense, Doctor, but you're just a doctor. I don't see why I couldn't do the same.
I feel like I can,
What do you intend
should
to
be
do?
able to tell
Dad
her
always
that,
told
no,
me.
I'm not just
Louise,
a doctor.
if you want something, don't stop until you have it. I did my research and I found it. Ichabod Throgmorton, professional vampire hunter. I'll be his apprentice.
That was so good. Team
What can
up.
you tell me about this area?
I've never really liked this part of town. It was where my father wanted to live. I won't remain here much longer.
What exactly don't you like about it?
People here are contemptuous and elitist. My dad always said, Louise, always treat people like you want them to treat you.
Well, exactly. I feel like you should go and team up with Charlotte. Just
Louise,
shouting for women's rights.
what can you
over.
tell me about the vampire who captured you?
I mean, he's
The little
dead.
fucker
Doesn't really
claimed he'd
matter.
fallen in love with me. That he wanted to spend eternity with me. Not a bad idea. At least that's the way it seemed at first.
Really? Did you consider accepting his proposal?
Well, immortality. Not a common wedding gift, is it? I think he just wanted to have his way with me. Can vampires even fuck, Doctor?
What?
I
Well, I really can't answer that. Since they are creatures of blood, physically speaking, I suppose an erection is possible, but
Don't be
Gotta do
embarrassed.
some science.
I was just asking.
Louise, tell me what you really think about your father's sacrifice to save you.
I'm proud he went after me. I forgive him all his harsh words, all his bloody attitudes. I only wish I could tell him how much I loved him.
Yes. It can be traumatic not having the chance to say goodbye to those we love.
Yes, Doctor. And there's no treatment for that type of pain, isn't that right?
We need somebody to talk
That
to.
may be the last thing my father taught me.
You seem to cherish your father a great deal.
Dad was the best. Kept an eye on me, but let me make my own mistakes. Louise used to say, mistakes are the best teacher. You would have liked him.
I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye.
That's all right. He's buried in consecrated ground now. Nothing bad can happen to him.
Valid. Yeah, she's got a headache, but I'm not gonna
Goodbye, Miss.
waste my headache. You're on her. Mr. Russell.
Good evening.
Good evening. What? Absolutely.
Have you any...
I will never see him again in my...
Do you need medical...
You would save my...
Don't...
I cannot imagine the pain these people must...
Absolutely.
I may have a look at your...
Lead plates. Sure, I'm going to take those. It's not like I'm not swimming in cash, so... Yeah. Drugs-wise, I think I'm gonna... leave it for the moment. Hello, Charlotte. How you doing, babe?
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
Where is your mum?
What is your opinion of Aloysius Dawson?
I'm sure you did what you had to without him suffering more than he deserved. I'm not sure I'd have been so merciful.
Well, quite.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite...
Where is she? We should go back to her house and find out. Okay, wait, did I just get turned around? No, she just walked past me. Okay, that's fine. Clarence, you dingus.
Good evening, old chap.
I won't lie.
He's just very insane. Poor lad. I'm tempted to give him my one.
Have you any news?
He was aware of many things.
Obvious a vampire.
You need some
absolutely. Where's his wife? She lives over here, right? Venus. Oh, this was her house. Is it not? Oh yeah, Carino. No idea what's up with this one. She's been hypnotized by someone.
Have you?
He is dead.
Can I help?
Yes.
I will take that as a yes, even if I would prefer to help you in another way.
Make him stop, please.
I would love to, you know, help whatever the hell is going on with you, but I do not know what the heck is going on with her. I think my maker has got her under some sort of bizarre mind-bending hypnosis. Ah! Mr. Kimura.
We meet again, Mr. Kimura. In a more peaceful
We've rescued
situation.
this guy as well.
Dr. Reed.
We must both be nocturnal animals, you and I. After your captivity, I thought you'd be more cautious.
Breathing the cold night air helps calm my mind, sir. I've had the most frightening nightmares since I escaped that filthy jail.
May I ask you what you do for a living, Mr. Kimura?
I was a landlord. A wealthy one. And not a very kind one, I realized recently.
Why this sudden epiphany? Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. With recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
How is the situation in the West End?
I've heard rumors about...
Yes, he's just got fatigue, and I've run out of fatigue medication because everyone is fatigued.
Why are you so nostalgic for your hometown, Tadao?
I was focused so much on making money, I almost forgot that my relatives and friends are threatened by this epidemic.
Have you heard anything from your family?
I was not only a bad landlord, I was also a bad husband. I've not seen my wife and son for years. Busy, busy, busy.
At least now you're ready to go back and see them. But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you suffered from an absent father yourself, Dr. Reed. Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Those you grew up with didn't share your views on money and success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club?
Aww.
We were young, such joyful dreamers then. But I stopped laughing long ago.
Well, that's sad. You should...
Can you change? And is it what you really want? If so, it must come from within, not without.
I've seen what an altruistic gesture can do. Nothing forced you to save me, Dr. Reed, but you did. I will follow your example in these matters from now on.
Hell yeah.
Follow my example, then. Find a complete stranger and help him or her the best you can. Then invite him or her
Pass it
to
on,
do the same.
absolutely.
You know what? That's not a bad plan, actually. And I should start with my family, for they are almost strangers to me now.
Oh, apparently that was not the advice he needed.
If you really want to know, I was locked in that building for 3 or 4 days. My jailer was insane, mumbling about sacrifice and voices.
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the weirdest part. He claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Which stars?
That's the whole point. He wanted me to talk to him about some Red Queen configuration or constellation. I've never heard of such an astronomical
they picked you
term.
because you're astronomically inclined.
What did he say about voices?
Fascinating.
He constantly whined about the voice of his master, ordering him to do terrible things. He wanted to silence the voice by offering blood. My blood.
Tell me, Tadao, why was your abductor so interested in your passion for astronomy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We met a few times at the Royal Greenwich Observatory. He seemed to share my hobby. Then he invited me to his house and locked me in.
Baffling.
Yes. Astronomy is a fascinating subject. When I was a child, my mother bought a small telescope for my sister and I. We spent many a pleasant evening stargazing.
Stars are not just dots in the sky, Doctor. They are the key to our understanding of the cosmos. They remind us how insignificant we are.
You're right. But children love magic and stories. I remember our mother told us constellations have the power to protect us.
Protection by the light of the stars. That's sweet. You remember the name of these constellations?
Draco. My favorite constellation.
Memory's a strange thing. I can recite without hesitation the names of the 88 constellations. Yet I barely remember my own childhood.
Did he fake his interest in astronomy to get close to you?
I mean, no, clearly not.
In his madness, he spoke about a blood sacrifice to be made to his master when the stars aligned to a specific configuration.
That is intriguing.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care.
I guess we'll find out what is going on. I can't remember where Venus's house is. Somewhere around here.
Women of all countries, unite!
It's one of the ones where you have to knock on the door and actually be let in. Where it actually is. That gets you down to the...
I cannot enter.
Sewers, right? The way that we came in. No, that's just come around in a circle. Okay, that's not helpful. Fine, I can't remember where Venus lives. I thought she lived here, but clearly not. Oh wait, no, hang on, is it here? Here? This house? This is the house. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't so far off.
Hello, Venus.
Hello, Jonathan. Please, come in. You're always welcome here. At this hour of night?
I love night. Night is great. That you've got. You got that up inside. Oh, it's a calendar. That makes slightly more sense.
What do you need from me, Jonathan?
Gossip.
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
Unfortunately,
so you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires, would you have believed her? Seriously?
The important question is, what do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Jonathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
It can be both.
What do you think about Clarence squandering his fortune on his obsession?
Soon we'll be poor, and forced to sell the house. Where will we go? In
Somewhere
which
else.
filthy, infected part of town will we end up? I'm so afraid.
I mean, I would sell your pearls before selling the house, you know, that seems... Yes, yes.
Have you any recent...
It's not such a bad thing for rich people to remember that money can't protect them from disease and death.
Indeed. I'm not going to give her the head.
Goodbye for now.
Probably. The thing is, as the condition gets...
But at this hour
condition
of
of the
night...
district, I mean, gets worse. People become more likely to actually, you know, drop dead of their whatever terrible disease they've got. Clarence, you know what? I am going to give my one neuralgia.
Good evening, old.
I won't lie.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
No, thank
It's a
you,
little
Bob.
late for visiting hours, don't you think?
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
Right, there's nothing new there.
You need
Good.
some rep.
Sleep. Try not to die. Okay, let's go back to Lady Ashbury's house, see if she's in. Chit-chat. Flirt. This is Ashbury's house.
Where have you gone, Elizabeth? I have a bad feeling about this. It's locked.
Oh no. Okay, maybe she's gone to try and rescue Swansea as well. That would be logical. Fine. Let's go get on with the plot then.
One of them! It's a leech! Kill it! Christ!
Love it when you end a fight with more health than when you started. This is pleasing. Right, here we go. Back to the theatre, which is apparently where I need to be. Is Perrin just gonna let me walk past? Probably not. Maybe. Just sneaking. Maybe they don't mind that I'm here. Maybe McCullum's told them to let me in.
So Priwen never left Doris's theatre after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
I mean, them still occupying the place, and it's their new headquarters. Not the same thing, darling. Regen serum. Okay. Doesn't look as Excuse me, let me loot the box. Game. Thank you. So let's untrack that. So it's not. Looks like we're just going downstairs into the main stage. What's happening, lads? No, wrong one. Okay, concentrate. Oh, I'm out of shotgun shells. I forgot that. Where's my parabellum? That'll do.
Oh my vermin! Go on back to the battle!
Ow, ow, ow. Oh, blimey!
Kill it!
Right, let's gather information. Is my objective. Okay. What have we got? Fletcher's journal. She wanted to infect everyone. Ah, she was Harriet's daughter. Okay, gotcha. I did not know that. And then that's why they thought it was me, because of the hospital. Marshall created the Great Plague of 1666.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Are we? I guess. A disaster, big capital letter. Dis, meaning against the stars. Disaster. Right, I guess we're going through that door either side. Which one's the locked one? This one. Yoo-hoo. What have we got? Aha! He's here. He's alive. It's a good start, I guess. Probably gonna reveal that he's behind everything and he didn't mean to and he's very sorry. That's usually how it goes.
This is no place for you, sir.
No.
Are you bloody stupid?
Yes.
I cannot enter.
Fine, I have to go and kill that lad.
It's locked, all right.
Doesn't go anywhere. This is the door we need. Open sesame. Oh, okay.
It's locked, all right.
Huh. Marshall's memoirs. Actual... intriguing. So yeah, he actually ended the plague, I guess. Cleansing things, something like that.
Blood of a pure heart?
Blew up some balls.
I should find the key to that box.
Shows a notable casualty of the Great Fire. What else was that? Hint note. The safe stores sensitive evidence. Some bloke called Rodney has the key. Fine, I'm gonna go upstairs, kill Rodney, and get the key. Hi, Swansea.
Edgar.
How's it going?
Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
They clearly roughed him up and hit him in the eye, and yet his glasses are fine. They put his glasses back on after giving him 2 black eyes.
I'm getting you out of here.
I feel like I'm not going to be allowed to get him out. So he's still got his stethoscope.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late.
Oh no.
Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
McCullum happened, presumably.
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skull epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
No, but the most compassionate.
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I mean...
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
You know, like he's a famous historical figure.
I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession. Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
I probably should have gone get the evidence.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived.
Absolutely.
Amongst the immortals,
and then
he had a yet greater legend.
For Henry III when he was a boy.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
Because he's a badass.
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
I mean, yeah, in the sense that there aren't any old
While
ones
investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan.
Apart from,
nothing at all.
Accidental bad science.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
At you, though, mate.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms. Blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
You did
bad. Do you know
science.
Where we are? Doris Fletcher's theatre. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
But turns out,
I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet.
There you go.
There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones.
And there you go.
My only
that
intention was to
everything.
find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
Right, I admit it. I boldly ventured into experimental realms, but I've killed no one to appease my thirst for knowledge, Jonathan. I'm no murderer.
I never asked to become what I am, Edgar. You chose to conduct your rogue experiments.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul.
You're just a mad
just another
scientist.
Victim of this tragedy.
Oh, I can let him die. Sure. Sorry, Swansea.
Yes, Edgar, you're about to die. I won't say it's fair, but I can't say you don't deserve it.
Your words hurt deeply, Jonathan. For they come from a friend.
Too bad, I'm not your friend anymore.
I helped you, remember?
Yes. I remember.
The second I saw you in that bar, I knew we would accomplish great things, you and I.
I thought you were a vampire, till you brandished that cross.
You looked so lost when you opened that door. For a few seconds I thought you were there to kill me.
I think we were both afraid.
And now, I feel true fear. Is there an afterlife? What will become of me when I'm dead, Dr. Reed?
I really cannot say, Dr. Swansea.
In the end, life betrays us all.
I'm so sorry, dude. Rip. Oh, I got his cross. Can I use that? Is that a weapon? Also just got a new hint. Hint failed. Yeah, because I can't talk to him about it, because he's dead. sorry. But it was sort of necessary. Old love letter. Calhoun? Calhoun? Russell? Love letter to who? Not to Swansea, surely? Maybe to Swansea. Intriguing. Anyway, right, where is it a weapon? No, it's not a weapon. Ooh, hiss. It's just junk. Oh. Okay, I should run upstairs and see if I can work out what. Hang on, wait. Where's this go? Wait, no, I just went around in a circle. It's fine. I'm very smart. This way. Back upstairs.
It's too quiet. I don't like it.
I haven't, no. It's one of those things that, like, if we were not living in the Rona times, I would have found a copy in a charity shop, like, very, like, determinedly and easily. But, because I have not been to a charity shop in freaking ages, I am, therefore, without a copy. I intend to find one.
This is despicable.
When I can.
There's one of them! No rest for
Aha!
I can now.
Oh, one of
open
these
the
guys
box.
was Rodney, apparently. Amazing. Ah, box. Box, 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 box. Get to the box. Downstairs in the office. Music's being very ominous for no good reason.
I really don't know if I should read this.
Didn't you know we should read this? Personal notebook. Something is going on. Leggett's recalled. Zephyrin Leggett's. Epidemic. Everyone is dead. McCullum is back. Aha. The Great Hunt. Ah. Yeah.
I can't believe it.
So he was going to sell out the vampires to the Guards of Pruitt? Is that the gist of it? Because the Brotherhood is still supposed to be neutral observers. I don't know. Clearly, he was being less neutral than he ought to. Anybody else upstairs? No, not like it. Okay, right. Let's go to Lady Ashbury's house. The good chinwag. time is it? 4 o'clock, okay. Thinking I might cut the stream earlier than I had planned, just because the parental nonsense with the washing machine that I might need to help supervise. I don't know. I'll keep going for another half hour or so, maybe.
Return at a more convenient time.
What's about convenient times? Peculiar.
So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Steady!
Funny to me that people like still cast Nick Cage and stuff. Bless him. Hilarious dude. I have not, no. What's the premise? Oh, white phosphorus! Haha! Exciting. Didn't know that it was going to start becoming an available drop. That's good. Appreciate that. Okay, maybe I
See
should
them fancy clothes? This one's a top! There's one of them!
Beautiful sign of my courtship with Elizabeth, leaving dead bodies outside her door like a cat. Her Lady Ashbury, there she is. She's upstairs. She's fine. I'm gonna steal her stuff first. Ah, nice. Oh, this is Charlotte's diary. Argument. Refused to turn her. Well, maybe I'll get to turn her and then I can be her real dad. I don't know if I've been upstairs in her house before.
It's locked.
Random leaking grease in a cupboard. Hell yeah. Hello, darling.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
Because she's got a massive
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth.
bucket of red paint.
The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Swansea's dead.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
He was mortally wounded. I put an end to his misery.
That is terrible, Jonathan. And yet you did what you must. The poor man.
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most
Probably.
terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease,
Do you think it's a bass
to exploit
clarinet?
vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
But now I've got to tell...
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones.
How do I
was it
tell
not?
her that it was
Yes.
her blood?
That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected,
Wow.
and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at
It might be.
Then we have no
I don't
choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
Da da da! Quick, catch her before she swoons.
No. No. This can't be. Oh,
Elizabeth,
That's a bad omen.
are you all right?
no, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No!
Push.
Elizabeth!
She just whooshed out of the window. Oh dear. Why was she painting something so ominously red though? But yeah, I imagine that she's the same as Lord Redgrave. You know, she's of low blood, such that she only produces Skull offspring, not Ekron offspring. So I need antidotes. Delicious. Apparently insulin is secure. Hilarious. Can I... She didn't give me the key to that chest, did she? I didn't notice. Ah, yes, there's an autographed copy of Dracula.
It's locked, all right.
That's great. Okay, time to do science. Which would of course explain why she doesn't want to turn her daughter, because she knows that she can't turn her daughter without turning her into, you know, a skull. It's raining. God. This spring has made me realise how lovely last spring was. You know, because we were all in lockdown, but we could sort of like lie around on the lawn or in parks and stuff because it was so sunny. And this year, just so much rain. Garbage. Anyway, right, okay, what do I... something from... Wow, I feel like Lord Redgrave is not going to want to give me more Marshall's blood.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Yeah. Still, I feel like people aren't just going to give me what I need. Maybe I'm closer to the end of the game than I realised, you know. Ask her about this note.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Absolutely.
Good evening, Dr.
When
Reed.
it's crisp, it's different.
A great
it's so
night,
humid
what?
as well. A great night, what?
Calhoun, tell me about your relationship with Doris Fletcher.
Oh, Doris. Cold fire and burning ice trapped in a perfect body. Our passion was as intense as it was brief. What an actress.
How did you meet her?
On a boat to France before the war. She was thinking about a career in Paris, and I was eager to try French gastronomy. We both returned disappointed.
I expect you've seen her on stage, too.
She really is the best actress of her generation. Such frailty and such strength at the same time. I hope she'll play again soon.
Have we not
She's
told
been
her?
Away for too long.
She's dead, mate.
You sound surprisingly sad. Have you regrets?
I think of her as a divine dish. I'm glad I was able to taste it, but I regret I could only get a bite of her mystery.
That's a terrifying line. What the hell?
She fascinated me, Dr. Reed. I can't imagine what she must have endured through her life to reach such a level of emotion and sensibility.
I mean, I guess.
Goodbye, Mr. Rudd.
It's Charlotte. Where are you? No, that's Teasdale. It's Charlotte.
Good evening, Mr.
And good evening.
Good evening to you.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
I mean, I feel like she's not wrong.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury.
Cool Indian name.
It hurts as much as it makes me proud, To know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
Yeah, but once you're stuck being immortal, you're kind of stuck being immortal.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire, in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
If you live forever, you can establish a
woman
matriarchy.
with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way.
This is your stepdaughter you're talking about, babe.
Carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak? Vampires with a worse sense of humor than mine.
Oh my god. For one second,
trying to scare her straight and then...
Excellent, Dr. Reed. Very convincing.
There you go.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite...
Amazing. Let's see if I can actually get... I'm assuming I can't just go into the Ascalon Club. Because, like, they're angry with me.
You are not welcome.
Finch? Does that mean he's just wandering the streets?
It's always been your
Find Redgrave, it says. I guess he'll just be in the garden or something. Convenient like that. He's not gonna want me to take the blood though, is he? Like... He's not gonna let me have it. Sneak in the back door. Oh, I might be able to, you know. Haha! Sneaky! The butler doesn't let me in through the front door, but just does not mind that I still have a copy of the key for the back door or whatever. You'd think that they could revoke their permission for me as a vampire to come in. You know, I'm no longer welcome, and therefore I can't enter. There'll be a better method than... whatever.
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I'll have to improvise.
How's that work then? Ah! Just wander into the club and start killing people. Squelch. did catch me. Flip an egg. Oh. Classique. Okay. Let's try that again. Am I out of health potions altogether? Oh, I am. Amazing. Fantastic. They did! And the BBC reported it as the second country ever to land something on Mars, which is not true because the USSR managed it as well, so it makes them the third. And I guess, technically speaking, ESA landed Beagle, but
This is now my domain, young Ekon!
the thing is, oh, you say that, it would be good, wouldn't it? But Mars is a big planet, and they're not anywhere near each other, which is sad. Be good though. This guy's got so much.
Gotcha!
Have you though? It would be so funny though, you know, they were just roving along and bumped into each other. But yeah, no. Ah, finally dead, thank goodness. Okay. So do I actually... Ah! He's in his office. Excellent. Assume he's going to be really cross to see me. Hi. How's it going?
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end
bickering.
to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
Good.
Orders of magnitude
We've held
different.
out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
Have
The
you
blood
seen the
of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker?
Helicopter
Are you
Ingenuity took a picture
This
of
blood is the purest of
Perseverance,
all.
which is so cute.
My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
How's about he's not your
this
maker?
farce. Marshall never was your maker. I have no idea how you acquired his blood, but I need it now.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this
Yay!
city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, I expect a
Our
knighthood after
fate
this.
lies wholly in your hands.
That was more chill and more easy than I thought it was going to be. Just checking the basement. Because so far nothing has like been down here. expecting something to be down here. Oh, there was this one note. Maybe that was all it's for. Mysterious. It's amazingly chill that he, you know, didn't mind the fact that I just killed that dude and then wandered into his office. Right, I think I'm actually going to leave it here for the day. Well, I'm going to run back to Pembroke, save there, and actually cut this short. I know it's been a very short and sort of patchy session with those stupid crashes as well, but yeah, I want to be on hand for chores and stuff. A bit annoying, but you know, duty calls. So yeah, I'll just head back to the hospital for the next step in this quest anyway.
Why can't I forgive you, Father?
They're all so stressed, shouting all their different lines at each other. Yes, see you on Tuesday. Smash the sky a bit. Not even a big chemical spray, my dude. Ah. I would mean those two. Ow. I didn't know that you could. Okay. Maybe I'm not going to bother running all the way back to Pembroke. Maybe I'm just going to leave it here, actually. Ah, dear. Anyway, right, this will be up on YouTube. You have been defeated. And I'll be back on Tuesday with a proper full-length session. Hopefully we can solve the disaster and prevent the Skull Plague from rampaging too much. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!